大家好. So today we'll be learning something about the market. Alright, so I know that you guys love to go to 168 and Divisoria. Alright, so this might be something that can help you. Alright, so before that, of course, let me share something about husbands and wives. Okay, so two people together. Ayan, I know that you like this. Alright, here it is said in Ephesians chapter 5. Actually, it's a whole paragraph, a lot of verses, but I'll just read the last one. Alright, so it's in Ephesians 5, verse 22 to 33. But I will read 33 to you. However, each one of you must love his wife as he loves himself, and the wife must respect her husband. Alright, so 以弗所书5章22节到33节，但是我只要读第33节，这里是说，然而你们个人都当爱妻子，如同爱自己一样，妻子也当敬重她的丈夫。Alright, so this is a verse that we actually, hear, especially during weddings. And I think this is something very important. Why? Look at it, how it says. Husbands, you have to love your wife as you love yourself. And the wife, what does he do? He respects her husband. So in an essence, the wife is meant to receive, or the girls, us women, we were meant to receive love, all right? And the husbands, they are meant to receive respect. Correct? That's why if you can see all the Filipinos drama, I mean, if you're watching soap operas or people, around us, you will always see, if not always, but most of it, the husband will always say, where's the respect that due me? Asa na respeto ko sa bahay? Correct? And then the woman, she will always say, you don't love me anymore. Right? Hindi mo na ako mahal. Right? That is how they react, especially when they fight. Why? Because we ought to respect our husbands. So that's us women. And the woman and the man, they have to love their wives. Alright? So where is God? Alright? God is coming into the picture. If you think that your husband is unrespectable, you ask God, Lord, help me to respect my husband. And the same way, if the wife is unlovable, Lord, help me to love my wife as you would love the church. Right? Because this is how things are going. If a man is the head over us, so he will be the one who leads us, and we're meant to be loved, and they're meant to be respected. Alright? So 在这里呢，你可以看到他说，个人都当爱妻子，如同爱自己一样，妻子也当敬重她的丈夫。Alright， 你可以看哦，当爱妻子，所以呢，丈夫他要怎么样呢？他要爱他的妻子。哎，那妻子怎么样呢？他要敬重他的丈夫。Alright， 为什么？因为呢，我们妻子呢，我们应该受爱，然后丈夫呢，他们要受到尊重。是吧？所以你每次看到夫妻俩在吵架呢，你就可以听到丈夫会说：“你为什么不尊重我？为什么不尊重我？”但是你会听到妻子：“哎呦，你不爱我了，你不爱我了，是吧？”为什么？因为呢，妻子她要尊重她的丈夫，丈夫呢，他要爱他的妻子，是吧？所以呢，上帝要在哪里呢？上帝在这边呢，是如果你觉得你的妻子爱不了他，你觉得受不了他，你就说：“上帝，求你充满我你的爱，让我去爱我的妻子，如同你爱你的教会。”那妻子怎么样呢？如果你觉得你的丈夫不值得受到尊重的话，你就说：“上帝，请你让我尊重我的丈夫。” Alright， 是吧？所以我们夫妻俩的关系应该是这样子。Alright, so I'm not saying that you don't love your husband or what, but I believe that this is the way that we submit to one another. So that's it for my sharing. I hope that you got something from this, and I believe this is something very useful. Alright? So I hope that you learned something from that. And as I've said, we will be learning something about the markets. Alright? So now we will just focus on conversing. So I will not tell you how to write the Chinese or the vocabulary words anymore. But I believe you already know the pattern. Alright? So you just have to divide if it's up, down, or left, right, or left, center, right, in and out. Alright? And then, just memorize the basic strokes. Alright? So that we can, tackle more about conversing. Okay, so here our vocabulary for today is ta-da! Okay, so let's start. The first one is 多少. 多少, it means how much. Alright, so how much or how many. Alright, how many. Alright, so that's 多少. Alright, 多少. Next is 水果. Alright, 水果 is fruits. Okay, so one rule, remember, I believe I did taught this before. So 水果, if it's two third tones, the first one will become second tone, or else you will read it as 水果. Alright, so it's not, it's 水果. So you read this one as second tone if two third tones are together. So 水果 is fruits, like in general. Okay, next, 菜. Remember, see? I, 菜, on the fourth tone, that is vegetables. Alright? And then next, number 4 is 钱. Alright? Qi, letter Q, qi with air. Alright? Yan, second tone, 钱, and that is money. Alright? General, money. Next, 5, 贵. Alright? So, ke, letter G, wei, ui, fourth tone, 贵. Alright? It means expensive. Alright? Next, 很. Alright? So this is not hen, the chicken hen, 很, letter E is alright? Third tone. It means very. Okay? So, 很. Next, 便宜. So that's 便宜. Alright? You can say 便宜 or 便宜. It's the same. Alright? So, here, it means cheap. Alright? And then next, 快. So, that is k with air. Right? Remember G, k, k is k. So, this is 快. Alright? It means, actually, it means the currency. Alright? In general. So, you can say it's peso or it's RMB or whatever currency it is. Okay? So, that's currency. So, let me read to you. This is our vocabulary. Alright? So, 多少水果菜钱贵很便宜快. Alright? So, let's do some combinations first before we proceed with our text. Alright? So, 多少 is how much or how many. Usually, it is together with money. Alright? So, if you're asking how much, alright, magkano, how much, okay? So, you ask 多少钱, alright? So, it's like how much money should I give you, right? So, that's asking how much. How much is the object that you're actually going to buy. Alright, so how much money, or how many money, if that's the case, alright? So, 多少钱, can you say that? 多少钱, so that is how much. So, when you go to 168, you say 多少钱, so it's asking them how much is the item. Alright, 多少钱, alright? Okay, do you remember the numbers? Of course, we did tackle those, right? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? So, you can say, for example, 20 pesos in general. So, you say 20 块, correct? So, that's 20. So, if you say 30, that is 30 块. Alright? So, 310 kwai. So, that is 30. So, not necessarily it's peso, but if you're in the Philippines, it becomes peso. If you're in China, of course, it becomes CNY. Alright? Yeah, the Chinese currency, which is yuan. Alright? So, kwai. So, you can say 30 kwai. So, 100 100 kwai. Alright? Yan. So, we have to do some recalls. Alright? They're calling in the numbers. Ayan. Okay? So, that you'll be able to catch up. Next, 很, of course, that is very. So, of course, we know very expensive is 很 贵. Can you say that? 很贵. Good. When you say cheap, it's very cheap. 很便宜. Correct? So that's 很便宜. That is very cheap. Okay? So what did we get here? So 多少钱? 很贵. 很便宜. And of course, the currency in which you will apply the numbers. Did you get that? Okay, good. You know, you just have to review and you can replay again and again so that, you know, you'll get used to the words. Okay, so let's move on to our text for today. Okay, so I believe these two words are very familiar with you already since we have been using it like a lot. So of course, the first one is mama. So this is mama, and then 售货员 is a vendor. Okay, I did not indicate the 售货员 in the vocabulary because we'll tackle that on the next lesson. But for now, 售货员 here is a vendor. So basically, it's mommy and the vendor talking. All right. So 水果, we'll go slowly. So that's fruits. 水果多少钱? So 水果, that's fruits. 多少, how much? Money. So how much is the fruit? Alright? So 水果多少钱? And of course, the vendor, he will answer how much or the price of it. So that is 30块. Alright? So 30, remember 310 is 30. Alright? 块 is the currency. So here you can say 30块. Alright? So 水果 fruits, 多少 how much, 钱 is money. So 水果多少钱 is how much does the fruit cost. Alright, so in Chinese you ask it like how much money do you have to give. It's like that. Okay, so 水果多少钱? Here 售货员, which is the vendor, he says 30块. And then mommy, you know, she says 很贵. So 很 is very, and then 贵 is expensive. So mommy said very expensive. Alright, so did you get the conversation? How much is the fruit? 30 pesos. So since we're in the Philippines, 30 pesos. And then mommy said it's so expensive. Okay, so here, let me read that one more time. 水果多少钱? 30块. And then mommy said 很贵. Alright? Okay, next, the one below. So this one is Papa. Alright, just a trivia. Why Papa looks like that? Actually, this is an axe. And you know the hollow blocks where they, you know, do the hammer thingy? Alright, or the when they're cutting woods or something, it's this one. It looks like a hollow block, right? I know. And then the one below. So, you know, because Papa, he always chop the woods, you know, using an axe. That's why Papa looks like that. Okay, so Papa here, okay, he says Thai, right? What is Thai? It's vegetables. So Thai, again, 多少钱? So Thai, how much? Right? Remember, old question word, it's still in the end, right? So 多少钱? How much is the vegetable? So Thai, 多少钱? And then the vendor, the 销货员, he says 10块钱. 10 is 10, right? 10块钱. That's why cross in Chinese, it's called 十字架. You know, it's this one is just outside the, you know, because the number 10 itself in Chinese looks like a cross. All right, so 10块钱. So he said 10 pesos. All right, so you can say 块or you can say 10 pesos with a 钱. 块 or 块钱, it's the same. All right, so 10块钱, 10 pesos. And then Papa said 很便宜. So it's very, and then 便宜 is cheap. All right, so he says 10 pesos is very cheap. Did you get it? So let me read that again. Thai, 多少钱? And then the vendor said 10块钱, or 10块 is okay. And then Papa said 很便宜. Alright, so that is our text for today. And the lesson is just quite short because I would want you to try to practice this on your own. And when you go to Divisoria, you can just learn 很贵 and 很便宜. So, oh, 很贵, that is expensive. And then 很便宜, that is so cheap. Alright? And of course, don't forget to review your numbers. Alright? Especially when it's beyond. Of course, when we buy things, it's not just 1 to 10. So don't just memorize 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. Alright? So of course, you have to know how to go beyond like 100 and 1,000 and 10,000. And we have videos for that. Alright? So I think it's in a playlist, so you can study the numbers in Chinese. Alright? So that's our lesson for today about the market. So I hope that you've learned something. God bless you!